Home prices are gaining traction as topics in both the mainstream media and social media, but there are three common misconceptions about the change in home prices that are unanimously reported as unquestionably true. Imagine you're preparing to make one of the most significant financial decisions of your life, buying or selling a home, and the commonly reported information leads you to make a poor decision. In fact, what if the reported information was based upon accurate data, but the interpretation of the information was ignorantly wrong? I can tell you the confusion surrounding housing market changes is abundant these days. Let's review the top 3 misconceptions about home prices and how you should interpret what you're hearing or reading whenever the pretty faces in the media tell you what they believe about the housing market. Though today's report uses data from the Tallahassee real estate market, I can tell you that it is highly likely that this will reflect what's going on in most U.S. markets too. I continue reading and hearing from agents around the country about their markets, and from coast to coast, real estate agents continue to report historic low inventories with falling demand from buyers due to the large jump in mortgage interest rates. If you've been paying attention, home prices are falling. Some viewers on our YouTube channel have stated they expect home prices to fall 50%, yet most expect something more in the range of 5% to 20%. This leads us to my first point. This graph examines the median home price since 2004. The blue line plots the median new home price, the yellow line plots the median existing home price, and the red line plots the overall median home price. It's important to separate new homes from existing homes, as existing homes represent more than 90% of all home sales, and it's important to reduce the skew that the higher priced new homes have on the median. The yellow line shows that the median existing home price had been falling in Tallahassee for several months until 2 months ago. That's enough information for most news agencies and amateurs on YouTube to announce as news. But isn't it worth mentioning that we've seen the same thing happen every year since 2004? The median home price does not move in a smooth, straight line. Instead, it moves in a jagged line where we observe it rising and falling at different times each year. When we look at the median home price, it is a jagged line with both increases and decreases throughout the year. In 83% of the past 100 years, U.S. home prices have increased for the year, though each year had counter trends recorded too. The overall trend for this year is up. I believe it is premature to announce a decline in home prices until we see a year-over-year median home price decline. The median home price in Tallahassee is still up more than 10% over last September. Now, let's address a point that is never mentioned in the media. When mortgage interest rates rise and fall, it has little impact on demand. But when mortgage interest rates make a significant and sudden move, there's an immediate impact felt in the housing market. If rates fall significantly, we see a feeding frenzy among buyers. Everybody wants to get some of that cheap money before it's gone. That was the case from mid-2020 through 2021. When rates rise significantly, like we're seeing today, it causes sticker shock for buyers currently in the market to buy a home. And here's how that looks. Say a buyer went to a mortgage lender in December and qualified with a mortgage interest rate of 3.2% for a home loan with a payment of $2,000 monthly. Now, say that buyer decided to wait until May to buy a home, which is a common decision among families with school-aged children. In June, that same buyer was now offered a 6.1% mortgage interest rate. The impact or the shock of those different rates are distressing. The buyer could afford a $490,000 home in December. Today, that home costs $540,000. But today, that buyer qualifies to buy a $330,000 home, which was worth $295,000 in December. The buyer's $2,000 monthly payment has dropped 40% in buying power since December. Are you surprised that many buyers are in shock and have left the market? That's a very real scenario. So buyers today are spending less money due to mortgage interest rates soaring higher. Is it any wonder that the median home price is falling in many areas? Buyers have less money to spend. It's important to mention that non-discretionary buyers do not have the luxury of doing nothing. I get comments all the time on our channel where people say that people who buy today are stupid. When I see these comments, I wonder if these come from people who live in their parents' basement. Some people have to move. Job changes, life changes, devastation like in Central Florida. Unless you're willing to be homeless, you have to choose between buying or renting when you need a new place to stay. Both rents and home prices are soaring, so neither is a good option. But some people have to move, and I recommend they make an informed decision. If you are a longtime subscriber, then you know I bring up soaring home prices and rents all the time because home affordability in the U.S. is tanking. Immediate steps are required to fix the housing market. If you're not a subscriber, please click the thumbs up like button and subscribe now so that you get all my new content when it is fresh. If you really want to know what's going on in housing, to see and hear the data explained, to evaluate the facts and ignore the hype porn that is so prevalent online, then subscribe now and I'll keep you in the know. When you hear the phrase median home price or average home price referencing how the market is changing, are you thinking about home values? In other words, if a news report says average home prices are rising, do you think average home sellers are getting more money? Or are you thinking that buyers are spending more money? This graph is similar to the previous one, except we're plotting home values instead of home prices. We measure values in terms of price per square foot of heated and cooled living spaces in homes. The blue line plots the median new home value, the yellow line plots the median existing home value, and the red line plots the overall median home value. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you see this? In 2011, the cost to bring new homes to the market separated greatly from the existing homes market. Soaring construction costs are the reason that the housing market is in such bad shape. Look how closely builder costs were to existing home values from 2004 through 2009. But times have changed. Builder costs have been so much higher than the existing market value for the past 10 years that they've been building cautiously. I've seen reports that the estimate the U.S. is short more than 3 million homes right now. Rents and values are soaring, confirming the limited supply of shelter in the U.S. The median existing home value in Tallahassee has shot up more than 25% from its pre-pandemic level. Soaring home values is widely known, both for Tallahassee and the U.S. values too. Everybody knows that values have risen at unsustainable rates for the past 2+ years, so most conclude that home values must fall. If you notice the yellow line at the far right in the graph, we've just seen 2 straight months where the median home value has risen. Do I think this proves that the market is recovering and moving to higher ground? No, it takes more than 2 months of changes in the median value to form a trend. The median home value fluctuates throughout the year. There's not been a year since 2004 where the median value did not fall or rise at some point in a year. In other words, home values move along a jagged line just as do home prices. Anybody who has claimed that U.S. home values are falling is premature. In some local markets, it is true. If you live in an area with more supply than demand, for example, Las Vegas, Nevada, you'll find falling home values. But for Tallahassee and the overall U.S. housing market, there are not enough months of decline to demonstrate that home values are falling. The third misconception about home prices today is that you cannot measure appreciation accurately by just following home prices. Home prices represent buyer spending, while home values represent what sellers get. If these numbers were always in parallel, the size of the average home would never change. For example, if the average home price drops 5%, most people think the average home value has dropped 5%. If this were always true, the average home size would be just the same. Just look at this graph and you'll see that's just not the case. This graph plots the median home size. The blue line plots the median new home size, the yellow line plots the median existing home size, and the red line plots the overall median home size. The yellow line shows that the median existing home size is falling in Tallahassee. So why is this so important? Well, if home prices are dropping and home sizes are dropping, it means that home values are moving at a different rate than home prices. Perhaps they're falling, or maybe they're rising, but they cannot be falling as fast as prices. The most important takeaway from this graph, beyond the fact that the median home size is constantly changing, is that builders are creating larger homes than the market needs. New construction home prices are very high when compared to existing home prices, so builders should be building smaller homes. In Tallahassee, I'd like to see the bulk of new construction focus on 800 to 1,500 square foot homes rather than the 2,000 plus square foot size homes we're seeing today. Much of this has to do with planning. When today's homes were in the development stage, mortgage interest rates were at an all-time low, so buyers were purchasing larger homes. But as rates have risen, home affordability has declined, thus smaller homes are all buyers can afford. Builders have a very tough time meeting the needs of the market. If you saw my video about NIMBYism, which I have a link to below, you know why builders require so many years to bring homes to the market. We all need to do our part and tell our politicians they need to unmetal the development process so that builders can bring affordable homes to the market. I hope I've helped you be better informed about the housing market with the 3 misconceptions about home prices. Number 1, home prices do not move in a straight line, so we must observe trends over time. Number 2, significant rate moves in the mortgage markets cause a feeding frenzy or sticker shock. Both are overcome with time. And number 3, you cannot measure appreciation accurately by just following home prices. Home prices represent buyer spending, while home values represent what sellers get. Remember these common misconceptions about home prices the next time your local newspaper or YouTuber tells you something about what's going on in housing. Likely, they do not know what they're talking about. If you want to see a video featuring the 7 critical steps in selling a home today, you can view it by clicking on the box in the top left corner of your screen. To see a popular video featuring my top 6 home selling tips, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.